This weekend is the opening of the second season of the Superstar Racing Experience, or the SRX. There's tons of new and old people and old tracks, new tracks, whatever it might be, changes, things kept the same. So today, what I want to do is look into what is going to be in this season of the SRX. Look at the schedule, channels, drivers, full and part-time drivers, as well as some changes even behind the scenes that have happened with the series, and kind of push into what is going to be going on this year. So let's not waste any time, let's get right into it. First off, the schedule. There are again 6 races, but this year they've chosen to shuffle up the lineup of tracks. First, on June 18th, as of recording it is this Saturday, is the Five Flags Speedway in Pensacola, Florida. It's a half-mile paved speedway, and it hosts the Snowball Derby. So this should be a good one added onto the schedule for a lot of old-school short track fans. The next week, on June 25th, you have the South Boston Speedway, which is a 0.4 of a mile paved short track as well. Then, July 2nd, Stafford Motor Speedway gets to have its triumphant return from Stafford Springs, Connecticut, another half-mile paved short track. On July 9th, moved from the finale of the SRX now to the 4th race, is the Nashville Fairgrounds. The Fairgrounds is set in the middle of Nashville, Tennessee. It is a 0.6 of a mile track, and this is probably a big push as well for Nashville to get NASCAR at the track sooner rather than later. Also, this was a huge seller last year and is bound to be a hit this year. Then, after getting through the paved tracks, we finish the season with 2 dirt tracks. First, on July 16th, you have the 1/3 of a mile I-55 Raceway, and it's going to be another new speedway added to the schedule and should be a good change of pace after 4 paved short tracks in a row. And then you end the season on July 23rd at the Sharon Speedway in Hartford, Ohio, which is about a 0.4 of a mile dirt track as well. Now, where can you see all of these races? Well, starting off, you can see them on CBS on TV at 8 p.m. Eastern Time every week. And you also, if you have Paramount Plus, can watch the races as well. Those who are broadcasting this year, you have the lead analyst in Alan Bestwick, you have the pre-race host and host of a lot of the broadcast, Lindsay Zarniak, and a pit reporter in Matt Yoakum. Also, Willie T. Ribbs will be replacing Brad Daugherty this year as sort of the roving reporter. In the booth, well, Ribbs will be at Stafford for the booth, and Connor Daly will be in the booth for Five Flags, South Boston, and Nashville. As for Sharon and I-55, well, that's just to be announced. Maybe they can get some good ones, though, because it seems like there's plenty of different drivers from the past that you can get in and be good analysts with it. Well, speaking of drivers, let's look into who's going to be in the cars this year. Starting off with the full-time drivers, you have a new entry in the number 1 car in Ryan Hunter-Reay, an IndyCar driver who is the 2012 champion of the series and the 2014 Indy 500 winner. Paul Tracy returns to be the most down-bad driver in the series this year, and he's bound to be pretty fun with some of the new arrivals this year. Returning champion and one of the lead investors in the series, Tony Stewart, the 3-time NASCAR champion and 2-time IndyCar champion, is returning, and, like I said, the defending champion of the SRX. 2-time Daytona 500 champion Michael Waltrip returns in the 15 car, as well as 2000 NASCAR Winston Cup champion Bobby Labonte. New arrival this year is the 2008 Daytona 500 champion and the Rocket Man of Ryan Newman. I gotta say, having Paul Tracy, an impossible-to-pass slow car, versus Ryan Newman, who's probably going to be an impossible-to-pass fast car, has to lead to something good this year. In the 69 nice car, there's Greg Biffle returning. He's a 2000 Truck Series champion and 2002 Busch Series champion, and he's going to be full-time this season. And then another returning entry who's going to be the last full-timer mentioned today is the driver of the 98 in Marco Andretti, a 2-time IndyCar winner. Now, part-timers are going to probably bring a lot of the billing hype when it comes to the Superstar Racing Experience this year. Starting off in the 06, you have Elio Castroneves returning, the 4-time Indy 500 winner. He'll be racing at South Boston, Stafford, and the Nashville Fairgrounds. Also at the Nashville Fairgrounds is 2-time IndyCar champion Joseph Newgarden in the 2 car. Ernie Francis Jr. returns in the 5. He's a 7-time Trans Am champion, and he'll be returning at Five Flags in South Boston. Tony Kanaan will drive the 6. The 2014 IndyCar champion will be at Five Flags, South Boston, Nashville, I-55, and Sharon. He only will be missing the race at Stafford. Now, Matt Kenseth, the 2003 Winston Cup champion and newly announced NASCAR Hall of Famer, will be racing the last 3 races of the year at Nashville, I-55, and Sharon. He couldn't race the first 3 due to just personal things, and, well, let's be real, he's retired, he can do whatever the hell he wants. The 9 car will be split amongst the Elliott family. The 1988 Cup champion will be returning in Bill Elliott at Five Flags and Stafford, and NASCAR's most popular driver, Chase Elliott, will race at Sharon in the finale. Ryan Blaney will also race in the finale, as he'll be going up against his father, Dave Blaney, who we'll mention later in the video. And the final part-timer who will race multiple races will be Hailie Deegan, returning at Stafford and at I-55, so she'll get 1 paved track and 1 dirt track. There are going to be 6 guest drivers for each race. Starting off with the 1984 USAC champion and 1995 World of Outlaws champion Dave Blaney, who will race against his son Ryan Blaney at Sharon in the finale. One of the best short track racers in the country of Bubba Pollard will be racing at Five Flags this week. And Peyton Sellers, a NASCAR Weekly Series driver and a 6-time South Boston track champion, will race at that track for that race. Matt Hirschman, a modified driver, will race at Stafford. And then the fan vote winner of the track champions, Cole Williams, a late model driver, will race at Nashville. Cup winner Ken Schrader, who has also been one of the big testing drivers for the SRX, will race at I-55. There's going to be points as well added into all of this, and the way the point system is lined up is like this. For the heats that line up before the main event, the winner gets 12 points, and all the way down to 12th, you decrease by 1 until the 12th place finisher gets 1 point per heat. In the race itself, the finishing order goes like this. First gets 25, second gets 22nd, and you go down by 2 points until 12th gets 2 points total. Now, there's one big change behind the scenes that people might not know about, and that is with Ray Evernham. See, Ray Evernham last year, from what I remember at Nashville, was everywhere and it was in charge of everything. But that's no longer the case. Ray Evernham is no longer in charge of the SRX. Instead, he's went to an investor-only role. So it's going to be interesting to see the differences between the way the SRX is now versus how it was with Evernham's leadership. Now, either way, I do have a lot of excitement for this series, even if the hype is not as big as it was last year. The SRX is a great blend of what IROC used to be, as well as old school short track racing. And seeing something like that, something different for the 6-week summer stretch, is gonna be refreshing as a racing fan. So now I want to pass it on to you. How excited are you to see the SRX return this year? A lot? A little? Mid, or no, not at all? Let me know down in the comments below. And while you're at it, leave a like on this video. Share this video and subscribe to my channel for more great NASCAR and SRX content for the weeks to come. And thank you to all my channel members for your continued support. So, until next time, have a good one.